Hey friends, I'm Monica Neubauer, the Maverick Motivator, and I've had a good number of folks ask me how do they become a speaker. And I speak primarily in the real estate industry, and so a lot of people really want to know how do I become a trainer in the real estate industry or bring some value to the industry. And these questions have kind of some different paths. So I'm going to do this video about how do you become a speaker in general. And I'm going to do another video about how do you specifically hone in to be a speaker trainer in the real estate industry. All right. With that being said, a little bit about me. I have been speaking for 15, 16 years. I've been a performer my whole life. And so I was eager to get into speaking. And when I got into real estate, I knew I would be speaking in the industry. But I needed to learn the industry so I would be good at it before I could start speaking and training others on it. I am a certified speaking professional with the National Speakers Association. And what that means is I've spoken a lot. I get paid for it, and my peers think that I'm pretty good. I love it. It didn't come right away, though. I was just recently awarded this CSP, and I have been working on this my whole career in real estate. So it has taken me a long time to get to this place. Now, let's start with a little bit of a high-level view with speakers. Now, there's three main kinds in just kind of a general category. There's your celebrity person. They are well known. They're a celebrity either worldwide or they're a celebrity in their industry, which may also be known as an expert in their industry, which kind of that's my separate kind of a little bit, but they're an expert. This is going to be a lot of your film stars and musicians and people like that who are well known and draw a crowd just by their name. And they are paid a lot of money. And quite frankly, some of them don't speak well. So I hope they go get some training. But they actually get paid the most because they're such a great draw. People want to hear what they have to say. All right, another group of speakers are people who have been through something either very hard or very difficult, and they have risen above it to walk in a space of health and enthusiasm and success in their life. And they share how they walked out of that hard place into a place of strength and health. And we see that exemplified so much on the classes that are even offered on the internet now. I did this, and here's how you can do this. But the people who speak on that, their stories generally are bigger and more difficult, and hopefully they have developed that skill and they're now an excellent speaker on that. Okay, after that, then you have the content speakers, and those are people who generally talk about what they know in their industry, or they have a specific topic that they've learned in their career, and they bring that to the industry, and that person may have been just this really well-known expert in their field, and they start speaking. And again, they may not necessarily be natural speakers, but they can learn. And then the other group in that are people like me who enjoy speaking. They've learned a lot in their career and they want to speak in their industry and even in other industries to share what they know and help other people improve and grow in their lives and in their business. All right. So think about which one of those you might fit into, and let's kind of go to the next phase. Now, speaking in public, we all know that's one of people's greatest fears is to do that. So if you can do that, awesome, do it. We need to have people speaking out into the world and sharing good things. Now, there are two things to remember about that, though, that if you are going to speak in public for money and be called a speaker, you need to have skills to be a speaker. I'll come back to that. The other aspect of that is to remember that building a speaking business is building a business. Okay? It's not just, oh, I talk about this topic and people are going to hire me. Well, they have to know that you're doing it and they have to know that you're good at it before they're going to pay you to do that. So it is a skill and it is a business. Okay, so let's talk about the skill for a minute. As I said, I am a performer. It's part of my personality. I love engaging with people in public. And in my younger days, I did do some acting, some TV commercials and things like that. Okay. After I went and did some other things in my life and I came back to this, I knew that I had that talent, that natural talent for speaking in public. I also knew, gratefully, I had this awareness that I had that ability and talent to put my foot in my mouth at any given time, sometimes without warning, right? So I knew that I needed to learn how to speak better, how to deliver a message in a better manner so that people would enjoy hearing it and would want to hear it. So I knew I had to develop my skill as a speaker. I also used some of those filler words. My favorite is so to this day, and or like. Our younger generations use like a lot. That's got to be, nipped in the bud. So these are filler words that we use that we need to learn to stop using them if we're going to be speaking in public. I did that largely by attending Toastmasters. Everybody should start with Toastmasters. If you want to speak in public, I suggest you go find a Toastmasters club to join. My experience in it, and this is probably not everywhere, but my experience was it was a very healthy group, very supportive, and it's very inexpensive, not a lot of money to join. And they teach you how to speak. They have somebody who listens to you when you talk, and they count how many ums and filler words you use. And so you can learn how are you filling spaces, and when you're thinking about something, are you looking around and pausing, and what kind of weird things are you doing? So they'll tell you that in a very friendly environment. They also, as part of Toastmasters, have a book, the Competent Toastmaster book, where they will guide you as to how to put together a message. This is the point I want to make, my main point. These are my other points, and how to do that. And they're just 5, 6, 7, 8-minute messages. So you're learning in a very short period of time how to express yourself. Love Toastmasters. So that was where I started once I knew I wanted to be focusing on my speaking. And then I started going to everywhere I could where I would learn how to speak and where to meet people who are hiring speakers. I would go to instructor opportunities where they were teaching me. I had to learn how to create a PowerPoint, how to use a PowerPoint. I mean, even the nuances of using a PowerPoint while you're speaking, that's another thing. Are you going to use props? There's so much to it. Are you going to use, okay, props? But I'm thinking about the body language when you're teaching. Are you conscious of how your body looks on the stage? And when you're moving, are you smoothly moving and expressing what you want to say? Or are you being awkward? Just the things that you want to learn. You wonder why there's speaker coaches out there. They reveal that. But you don't have to start with a coach. You can start with a Toastmasters. Okay. The other side is the business side, learning to build a business that's your business where you are a public speaker. And a lot of people then grow that into coaching businesses, consulting businesses. You can go from there into other areas of your expertise that you like. But let's just start with that, being a speaker. You're going to have to meet meeting planners or education directors, people who hire speakers. You're going to have to meet them. Where are they? How are you going to market yourself? The whole branding thing is just as important as any other business. What are my colors? What is my image? What is the core part of what I'm talking about? And we're not going to get into that. That's another thing that you can get when you start delving into this, is what am I going to talk about? But that's a thing too. So this is the side of the business, and it's not easy. I'm just going to say that you have to decide you want to do it, and then you have to be committed to contacting people who will hire you. And I've seen some folks who are incredible at cold calling and emailing and connecting with these meeting planners and have built great businesses. Not all of us are that excited to cold call people or connect in that way. If that's not the way you're willing to do it, how are you going to do that? And you need to have a way. Okay, so you've started thinking about this and you want to start doing that. Start doing messages for free in your community. Once you go through Toastmasters, even some of the people you might meet there might be willing to have you come share a message for their team. You can go to a lot of your local groups, your Rotary groups, your Kiwanis groups. Maybe you have some groups at your religious organization you're a part of. So start speaking and start teaching as you're learning so that you can just improve your skill and your comfort level in front of an audience. All right. A couple more things. once you get good at it or you want to, you can go to courses where people will teach you how to be a speaker and people will coach you. And I will say that unless you're somebody who's already having you already have success in your industry on this niche, like I am an expert in this niche, so I'm going to hire somebody who's going to help me be a speaker. A lot of us don't have that kind of recognition and that kind of money. So look around for programs before you jump into something that's really expensive. And there are a lot of expensive opportunities. Look for some people who offer a stepping stone. Get into a group coaching program that's a little bit less expensive. And that's how I did it as well. I have built up who's been teaching me. I watch out for people offering a new program where I can get in at a better cost, or a group environment that will help me not just get the wisdom from the main person in the group, but I also get from the people who are in that. Generally, we're in a Facebook group and sharing together. And sometimes I even find when I join those group environments that a lot of people don't engage. So I get more of that leader's time just because I keep showing up. All right. Lastly, I want to remind you kind of how I started out. There will be people who will have that celebrity or that area of expertise. Maybe you've even done a TED Talk, you've kind of started in that. Those people, they generally just need speaker training because they're already known. They're going to be hired. There might even be people seeking them out to speak in that industry. And they're going to fall into it a little bit easier because they're already well known. For most of us, though, we're not as well known. So you can start on social media, sharing some parts of your message, creating some videos, building up some followers. So that's another thing that you can do as well. But you're going to have to build your business somehow. So get some help. Where do I want to go? That's always the thing. Where do I want to go? And then how do I get there? I hope this has helped you get a start in your speaking, that at least it'll give you some things to think about. And I think if you just go out tomorrow, get researching those Toastmaster chapters in your area and get on that, you're going to get a good start while you try to figure out the rest. I'm Monica Neubauer. Thanks for joining me.